Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video will be a book unhaul. I have 26 books to unhaul. 23 of them I haven't read and 3 of them I have read. I didn't film this, but a couple months ago I went through my entire TBR bookshelf and I really went through it. I took my time and I took off books that I no longer have an interest in reading anymore. I find it very difficult to get rid of books, even if it's books that I don't like or books that I've grown out of. Like, I just don't like getting rid of books. I like having my collection. I like having my little trophies of every book that I've read, but obviously I don't have that much space. I don't have unlimited space, so I do need to get rid of books every now and then. And yeah, I really went through my TBR bookshelf and I got rid of a lot of books that I don't want to read anymore. And a lot of them do also have like really low ratings, so chances are I probably won't like them either. But I just really had to be honest with myself a couple months ago and I was like, what am I not going to read anymore? So I took off a bunch from my TBR bookshelf, and then in my last bookish vlog, I did go through these shelves and I only did take off like 3-4 books. I say 3 or 4 because the 4th book is a DNF from last year, but I don't know if I like count that as read or not read. Like, it's a DNF, but I did take 4 books from these shelves and I'm getting rid of those. But yeah, a majority of these books are just books that I don't want to read anymore. And I typically either sell my books, give them to friends or family, or donate them, but I haven't donated in a while, to be honest. So I'm going to go through the books that I took off of these bookshelves here. So these are all read. The first one is Made You Up by Francesca Zappia. I read this back in the day when it was popular. I liked it back then, but I will not reread this. I will never reread it, so I don't need to keep this. Compulsion by Martina Boone. This I read years and years ago as well. I think this was a book outlet purchase back in the day, and I think I liked this. I genuinely don't remember. I don't remember anything about it, and I won't reread it, so I'm gonna get rid of this one as well. And Bringing Down the Duke by Evie Dunmore. This I read close to when it came out, I think. It was kind of popular at the time, and I didn't really care for it. It is a historical romance. I'm quite picky with historical romances, and this one just didn't do it for me, so I don't need to keep this. And then we have the DNF that I had, which is Love in the Time of Serial Killers by Alicia Thompson. This I read last year, or like tried to read it. I think I got to page 180. I had bookmarked it here. This was just nothing special. I wasn't vibing with the characters or the romance. I'm gonna be honest and say this was purely a cover buy. I did hope that I would like it, but yeah, I DNF'd it last year, so I'm going to part ways with this now. Now onto the pile of books that I haven't read. So I have 2 historical romances here. I have What a Difference a Duke Makes by Lenora Bell. This was a book outlet purchase back in the day. I was interested in it at one point because it's like a nanny romance, but I have other historical romances I would rather read instead. A Scoundrel of Her Own by Stacey Reed. I was actually gifted this by Entangled, and I just never got around to reading it. I think this is also like the 2nd book in the series. I think they had sent me the first one, but the package was like ripped open and there was no book in the package. So I think this is the 2nd one. I just don't have an interest. Then I'm getting rid of Next Year in Havana by Chanel Cleaton. This I had heard good things about, but I think it's like historical. Oh yeah, it's about 2 different timelines. She discovers the roots of her identity and unearths a family secret hidden since the revolution. I just don't think I'm gonna enjoy this. Then we have The Boy Next Door by Katie Van Ark. This is another book outlet purchase. A lot of these were book outlet purchases back in the day. I definitely went through a phase of ordering a lot from book outlet because they were cheap, and I at some point wanted to read these, but now I just don't care. I think this is about two figure skaters that fall in love. It has a really, really low rating on Goodreads, and that's why I'm getting rid of it. Other than that, like, I probably would have kept this and read it, but it has a low rating, so we're just gonna pass it. Tell Me Lies by Carola Lovering. This I had bought after I watched the first season of the TV show, and I was like, oh my god, I love the TV show. I need to read the book. No, I need to stop doing that. If I watch an adaptation first without reading the book, I can't go back and read the book. I have to read the book first and then watch the adaptation. Otherwise, I'm never going to get to the book. So this I'm getting rid of because I'm not going to read this. I'm just going to stick with the TV show. I have yet to watch season 2, so I need to do that. But yeah, I'm going to part ways with this book because I'm not going to read it. Blood and Honey by Shelby Mahurin. This, I was interested in continuing this trilogy. I read the first book, Serpent and Dove. I can't see it up there. I initially was going to continue this trilogy, but I read Serpent and Dove like years ago, I think shortly after it had come out, and I picked this up when it was released, but I still haven't read it yet. And I watched like a really good recap on YouTube, like somebody recapped the entire first book, which was amazing. And then unfortunately, I read the comments and it spoiled a character's death in this book, and I was like, okay, that was my fault, first of all, but second, now I don't really care to read this because I'm like, oh, somebody dies, so I'm not gonna bother. I need to read a series back to back. I'll just put it off for years, and then it'll get to a point where I'm like, I don't care to continue or finish the series, and that is what happened with this one, so I am not going to read this. These are two contemporaries. I think these are both young adult. We have Trusting You and Other Lies by Nicole Williams. Again, book outlet purchase. Then we have Everything Beautiful Is Not Ruined by Danielle Young Ullman. This, I think, was a brand new purchase back in the day, I don't think I bought this from Book Outlet. But I bought this because of Kayla, Lala Reads. I believe she talked about this book back in the day and she loved it, and I was intrigued, so I bought it, never read it, and now I don't care. Off the Ice by Julie Cross. This is a hockey romance. It's young adult. If I'm gonna read a hockey romance, it's gonna be adult. So I'm gonna pass on this one. I'm also gonna pass on Mr. Wrong Number by Lynn Painter. This is a book outlet purchase, and I had read Better Than the Movies and loved it, so I was convinced that I needed to read and buy all of Lynn Painter's books. But this is sort of like a texting romance. I don't like texting or like dating apps in books. I find it incredibly boring. I don't like it, so I'm gonna get rid of this. I have a hard time parting with this one, and that is One Small Thing by Erin Watt, because I've read most of Erin Watt's books. I actually have them right here. I don't know if you can tell. And this is like the one that I haven't read yet. I've been hesitant to get rid of this one, but I've had it for years, like since it came out, and I haven't read it yet, so I probably should just get rid of it. Letters to the Lost by Bridget Kemmerer. I'm gonna get rid of this because I don't care. I think this also has like a lot of letters and texting, and that's just not my thing. I don't like letters in romances. I just find it boring. So, and this is also young adult, I think, which young adult is very hit or miss for me, especially contemporary young adult. So I will pass this on to somebody who hopefully will love it. I am getting rid of 3 Renee Carlino books. These were all book outlet purchases. I kind of went wild when all of her books were on there, and I was convinced I was going to love her books, but I've only read Sweet Thing, which I liked. I tried to read Wish You Were Here earlier this year, did not like it. I did not like it at all. It was a DNF for me this year, and so I have decided to part ways with her other books that I haven't read yet. So Swear on This Life, I'm getting rid of Blind Kiss and The Last Posts. I just feel like I won't enjoy these books, and I would rather read other romances instead. I'm also keeping Wish You Were Here until the end of the year. You're probably wondering like why that is not part of this unhaul, but I am keeping that till the end of the year so I can show it in my wrap-up videos. But come next year, that book will also be leaving my collection. But I'm for sure getting rid of these first. Then I'm getting rid of Sabian 6 by Chloe Walsh. I just don't care to read the series. I read the first 2 books. I enjoyed them. I liked Johnny and Shannon, and I am satisfied with how their story ended. I don't care to read about the rest of the characters. For some reason, the author kind of rubs me the wrong way, and also the fandom really annoys me. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like sometimes there are like certain fandoms and people who love certain books that just get on my nerves, and it makes me not want to read the book. And unfortunately, this fandom just really does not appeal to me whatsoever. So I'm getting rid of this. This also has like the ombre spine, which another thing I want to say regarding this series, even though I liked the first 2 books, they are milking this series to the fullest. There is literally like 5 different editions that are being released like every year. Like, why does this series need to have 10 different editions? They're suddenly changing the spines again. I just don't understand why the publisher continues to change the series over and over again. I'm not going to continue the series. I'm getting rid of All the Ugly and Wonderful Things by Brandon Greenwood. This just doesn't appeal to me anymore. I have been tempted to keep this, but I want to read it, but I also don't at the same time because I feel like I probably will hate it, so I don't know. Then we have The Light We Lost by Jill Santopolo. This I was also debating on keeping. I think it's about 2 characters that just like are meant to be together, but they're not together, and they keep going on like different paths. I have heard good things about The Light We Lost though. That's why I'm like, should I keep it? Should I not? No, I should just get rid of it. I'm getting rid of My Body by Emily Ratajkowski. I initially wanted to read this because I had heard decent things about this. I had heard some positive things, but I don't know why I bought this, to be quite honest with you. I don't really read nonfiction, and I don't know if I really care what she has to say. So I'm gonna get rid of it. Then I have Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake. This is the self-published edition, and if you love this book and you want this edition, hit me up. I am willing to sell it and ship it to somebody who really, really wants this, because I know a lot of people love this book. I just could not get into the writing. I did try to read this, I think like once or twice, and I did not get it. But if you want this self-published edition, like definitely hit me up on Instagram, and I can maybe ship it to you. It depends where you live, because shipping is expensive nowadays. I would rather ship within Canada. I would really like this to go to somebody who actually wants this edition. And then the last 2 books are books that I just took off of my TBR bookshelf that you saw in my last vlog, and that is As She Fades by Abby Glines and Places No One Knows by Brenna Jovanoff. These are both YA contemporary. This one's like kind of magical realism, fantasy-ish. And I was intrigued. It sounded very interesting. It's about 2 like polar opposite characters, and one night the female character dreams herself into the male character's room and like into his life. It's very interesting, but I just honestly don't think I'm going to ever get to this, especially because my physical TBR is already massive. I'm just not going to get to it. And As She Fades, I did want to keep because I love Abby Glines, but I have a feeling it's just going to be a 3-star read, so I'm just going to part ways with it. So those are all 26 books that I'm unhauling. I know I went through everything pretty like rapid fire, but I pretty much have the same answer for each book. Like, I'm just not interested in reading them anymore, so I might as well give them to hopefully somebody who will want them and love them. Most of these books have been on my physical TBR for over 10 years, and I haven't read them, so it's just time to say goodbye. I'm also struggling to find 5-star reads, and I don't feel like any of these books are going to be a 5-star for me, so I feel better getting rid of them because I know they're not going to be 5 stars, and I have so many other books on my physical TBR that I want to read and that I have a better feeling about. And I feel like these were kind of just like the ones that kept sitting there that I kept trying to convince myself that I would read. But I really decided to do a purge, and I was like, I'm not going to read these. So I feel better about what my physical TBR looks like now, and I'm very excited to read all of those books that are on there right now. Let me know if you've read any of these books and your thoughts on them, or let me know any books that you've unhauled recently. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a like, subscribe, follow me on all my other social media, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.